All right.
How come you walk
Luke
down?
chapter 6. And we're going to be in verse 31.
Is that you?
Yeah, verse 31.
Chapter what?
6.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So as you saw, like in the game, like for instance, and I'm going to pick on Jade just because she was the last one up here. So when Jade was up here, how many of y'all could just read her mind? And you were like, you could just read her mind? What's she thinking right now?
Listening to you and wondering what you're going to say next.
She's like, why's he picking me? Why's he picking me? Why's he picking me? See, I can read your mind too. Okay, all right. How many of y'all were just kind of guessing, like when she was up here? Okay. All right, so you have a half time just with everything.
What am I thinking right now?
All right, so some of y'all like, and you could kind of like read what she was thinking because you know her real well, right? Are y'all strangers?
No.
No, best friends. So you know her real well.
See, Will.
Okay, all right. So now, when people are up here and you don't know them real well, you're probably just guessing, right? You're just kind of winging it. You're, you know, Matthew. He's just like, what? You know, you're just kind of making this like stab in the dark. So y'all are telling me tonight, you don't know exactly what other people are thinking, except under like some weird circumstances where you're just best friends, you know. And at the end of the day, you still don't know 100%. You guess, but you don't know 100%. So y'all don't know what everybody's thinking. What am I thinking right now?
You're thinking,
About Jesus.
What'd you say, Jay?
About Jesus.
About Jesus? Okay,
Pork
that's a
chops.
good guess.
You're not, well, you're going to say
Pork chops, that's a really good guess too.
You're trying to figure out what we're thinking.
Think about
figure
our
out what
answer.
you're thinking.
You're trying to think how you can change.
Look at that deep thought.
All right, so okay, so you guys, all right, so y'all took some guesses. You know what I was thinking?
How you could change it for we don't actually know.
What we're
Orange.
gonna guess?
That's it. Orange. I was just thinking orange. That's it. And you didn't know that.
I'm orange. The orange
I
one.
want an orange.
All right.
Yeah,
So one of the things that you guys have to like realize is sorry, but we don't know what everybody's thinking. It's impossible to know that, even, no matter how well we know each other. When you come across people throughout the day, whether at the store, whether at school, do you know what they're going through? You have no idea, right?
Depends.
Depends. How does it depend?
There's some kids who
You can
cannot hide anything.
Yeah.
yeah, they just,
Sit on the
they're
place.
standing there and then they start falling.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think though that 100% means that they're sad, or do you think that can be put on?
They're 100%
Okay.
I don't know. Some people fake cry.
Yeah, sometimes.
And that is like a legit thing. There are people that like can get really emotional and stuff, and
Make themselves
I
feel
do.
better. They just want that image.
so like, all right, and we're not like getting off on that subject or anything, but this is the thing: you don't actually know 100% when you see people what they're going through, and Alicia's out of range. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they've been through in that day. Do you always wear your emotions on your face?
No.
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 All right, some of you guys do, and like, but there's some of us that like we hide how we feel, right? It's like, how many of you guys tell the most like told Christian lie there is when someone's like, "How you doing?" You're like, "Fine,"
all the time.
all the time. Yeah, that's like the biggest Christian lie. That's the most accepted sin in all of Christianity. Is how are you doing? I'm good.
I'm bad.
And it's not so. We struggle. We're going through stuff, but we try and smile. We try to put on this like good face. So, regardless of what we see with our own eyes, people might be dealing with something different than we think they might be dealing with. So, this verse, Luke 6:31. Who wants to read this verse? All right, Luke, man, you're on it tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Luke
You get the next one.
6:31. And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also them likewise.
Okay. Does anybody know what this verse is called?
The golden
Well,
rule.
she started-
The golden rule. Yes.
Treat others like you want to be a steak.
Treat others how you want to be treated. So what that is talking about is if I need to be nice to somebody because I want them to be nice to me. If I hit Luke with a chair,
Then that means
I'm
he
scared
hates
now.
you with a tail.
basically.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Wow, you've had a rough week. All right, so, but no, when you treat people kindly, you're telling them how you want to be treated back. You're showing them, exactly how you want that to be expressed back to you. Does it always work that way?
No.
No, it definitely doesn't. But if I hit Luke with that chair and then he decides not to hit me back, is he responsible for me doing that to him?
No.
No, he's responsible for how he reacts to me, and that's it. And how we react to others, that's the only thing that we're actually responsible for. We're not responsible for how other people treat us. When we go places and people are like mean to us, like you get like a really you get really bad service somewhere or something like that. So when you guys all right, so, and we'll just get off on this and we'll say this. One of my biggest pet peeves is bad service at a place. If I go to a restaurant, if I go to a store, and someone is hateful to me, somebody is short with me or something like that, straight up, it really gets under my skin, and I don't deal well with it. It's kind of funny, me and Alicia have been joking about this, like I don't give the best customer service, so it's kind of funny that it bothers me so bad, but that's one of my biggest pet peeves. But does that ever bother anybody else? Is that, okay, so a couple people it bothers. All right, me big time. So when it bothers you, or when someone's behavior bothers you, do you ever actually sit back and think, I wonder what they're going through?
No.
No, but now let's think about it this way. If you're having a bad day and you're kind of hateful with people and you're kind of short with people, do you expect people to give you a little bit more grace in those situations? How many of y'all have ever, someone's been like, man, Mason, you're in a bad mood today. And you're like, dude, it's been a rough day. Have you ever used that excuse, it's been a bad day or it's been a bad week to kind of, you haven't?
I might have.
Okay, come up here, you need to teach. Chantel's with me on this. I can see that. So you've used that excuse before. It's like, you bite somebody's head off and you're like, it's been a rough day.
I've heard that
Okay.
before.
All right. All right, so. All right. So I'm gonna pick on you for a minute because you're with us. All right. So when you bite someone's head off, you're asking for them to extend grace to you, right? And to kind of give you a break because you've had a bad day. Should we not do the exact same thing? When we run across somebody, we should just expect and just kind of extend that grace to them? Yeah, we should. Now, is it always easy to do? No, it's not. This takes work. This takes intention. You have to be intentional about this. Because when someone's mean to us, man, we want to react. And we want to be mean right back. So we have to be intentional about it. We have to actually make sure that we express that and we push that grace to the people around us. So Paul, he wrote in Ephesians 4:22, 32. Who wants to read? Or Caitlin, you get to read this. I told you got the next one.
And be ye kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as God, for Christ's sake, hath forgiven you.
Okay, so it says, and be ye what?
Tender-hearted. Kind.
Kind. There we go. All right, y'all are jumping ahead of me. All right, so it says, and be ye kind one to another. So that means we're supposed to treat each other how?
Happy, nice.
Kind, yes. Happy, nice, yes, but kind. We're supposed to be kind to each other. All right, so does this say, when they're nice to you, be ye kind?
No.
No, okay. It just says,
For you to be kind.
Be kind.
All right, so it tells you to be tender-hearted. This means to be open to people, to like be there for people, to show heart to people in your interactions with them. Forgiving one another, even as God has forgiven you. This is a big one, because we like to withhold forgiveness because we think that we deserve all the forgiveness in the world. We can understand God forgiving us.
But we can't understand him forgiving someone else.
Exactly. And even on top of that, we don't want to extend that same forgiveness to somebody else. So when they're hateful to us, when they're mean to us, when they're aggravating to us, we love to think about it. It's like, oh, I'm so glad God has saved me, that person. And that's kind of how we approach it. But we need to understand that people are going through a lot. And that being kind to people costs you nothing. Being kind to people costs you nothing, and it can make the entire difference in somebody's day. Today, one of my coworkers, she was really kind of going above and beyond to help me with something, and I could have just kind of smiled and said thank you and moved on. But and I know you guys hate to hear this statement. As you get older, when you guys get into jobs and stuff, like, you'll understand this a little bit more. I sent her an email and I just thanked her for what she had done and how she had helped me with this. And you could tell that it really meant a lot to her. It was more than just like, that occasional just like pat on the back. Okay, it meant something. When you step out and you're kind to somebody, and you are, when you step out and you actually make that like effort to be kind to somebody, because sometimes it takes effort. It's easy to just put our head down and just move throughout the day and just kind of slide through. But when you actually like make the effort to be kind to someone, man, it matters. There's not a person in this room tonight that does not enjoy, even if you say you don't. There's not a person in this room that doesn't enjoy a compliment when someone genuinely gives you that compliment, that builds you up a little bit and it encourages you. And we need to do that more. We need to reach out to people more, because a lot of people are going through a rough time. I saw this today. There's this author that I've read a little bit. I've read some of his books, and we're friends on Facebook, actually. And he posted this picture today. And somebody had left this on his desk, and I thought it was big. And it says, "No one is doing awesome. No one is doing awesome." And I know that sounds really depressing to come back to your desk and find that. But what it is it's this reminder. Because of the stuff like that we're going through right now, we like to kind of like sit back and we compare ourselves to each other, and we look at how other people are doing, and we sit back and we're like, okay, well, Graceland's doing amazing, Chantel's doing amazing, Matthew's well, Mason is doing amazing, Luke's doing amazing, Jude's doing amazing, and me,
Man,
It's been one of those days.
It's been one of those days, and because of that, I'm doing something wrong, because all you guys are doing so much better than me. But this is something that you guys have to understand is that right now, especially more than ever, is that everybody is struggling. Even when we're comparing ourselves to other people and to other things, everybody is having a hard time. Everybody is struggling. So first off, you have to make sure that you're not losing in this comparison game, and you're not losing things. You're not like hurting yourself by comparing yourself to others. That's one of the fastest ways to steal joy out of your life, is to compare yourselves to others. So you have to make sure that you're not comparing yourselves to others, because everybody's struggling right now. Everybody's having a hard time. And even when things are the best, it's not your job to compare yourself to the person beside you. It's your job to just be the best you that you can be. To seek God as much as you possibly can in your life. That's all you were created to do. You were not created to be better. Like my calling in life is not to be better than this. And I know that would be hard, and I couldn't probably pull it off. But that's not my calling in life. My calling in life is to grow as close to God as I can. So we have to quit comparing ourselves to others. We have to quit, and especially in this time when just everything is a dumpster fire, quit looking at the people beside us or in our classes and be like, dude, I bet they're not having as hard of a time as I am. Or they just seem like it's going so easy. Because it's not. Everybody's struggling. But the one thing that we have is this amazing promise. Who wants to read this one? I think Jude's went up first on that. All right, so.
Casting all your cares upon him, for he cares for you.
All right, so Peter here tells us to cast how much of our cares?
All.
All of our cares to God. Now, he says to cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. Peter understood this better than anybody. Peter made mistake after mistake after mistake in his life. He knew what it was to come to the feet of God and ask him for forgiveness, asking for help, asking for grace in these situations. So in one of the last things he ever wrote, he gave us this statement that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're dealing with, to cast all of your cares upon God. Because there's nobody that can bear your burdens. There's nobody that can bear the weight that you're carrying. You know, you can come to me and you can talk to me about your struggles and I'll help you and I'll talk to you through it. But you know what? I can't help you get over it. I can just be there for you. God can help you get through it. No matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through. No matter how many struggles that you've got going on. This is the only way out of it. This is the only way through. So in this upcoming week, one of the things that I really want you guys to do is in a frustration in your life, one of them. Because does anybody in here have more than one frustration going on right now?
Oh.
Couple? Okay. All right, good. Well, those of y'all that don't, I need you to teach me some lessons. But all right, but in something you come across this week that frustrates you, maybe it's school, maybe it's family, maybe it's friends, maybe it's just, you just wake up and it's one of those days. I want you to start at this verse. And I want you to come to this. And instead of trying to take it all on you, I want you to figure out a way that works for you. Maybe you write something down. Maybe you write to God. Maybe you spend some time in prayer to Him. Maybe you do whatever. But I want you to take whatever that struggle is. Like school. We're just going to say school because I think everybody is in that point right now. Maybe you wake up tomorrow morning and you're like, all right, I'm stressed about what the day's going to bring, but I'm going to take it to God. And every time stress starts creeping in, and you just kind of push that back towards God. And think about how much God loves you. Think about how much He's done for you. Maybe it's you write something down in the morning and you're like, God, I'm going to get this to you. I'm going to cast this on you. But whatever it is, I really challenge you guys, and I want you guys to do this week. So I want you to take some of your struggle. I want you to take some of your care, and I want you to take it and I want you to give it to God. Because until you do, you're going to keep carrying that same weight. You're going to keep carrying that same struggle. And it's not a weight and it's not a struggle that you were ever meant to carry yourself. You see, God has given you everything you need to get through anything. And by living your life this way, you're going to be able to point those people that you come across to Jesus. Because you know what? Frankly, right now, and I know we're all wearing masks, but to smile under a mask or to say a kind word to somebody, it's different. And people don't get a lot of that right this moment. So when you do that, it stands out. And you'll get to preach the gospel to somebody with just a simple kind word. Just simply by telling someone a kind word. Just simply by smiling and saying, hey, you did awesome today. Thank you for your help. You can literally change somebody's day. You can change somebody's eternity just by a simple act of kindness. Because they could see Jesus in you and want to know what you have that they don't. And then you get that opportunity to tell them about it. So tonight, and I want you guys to bow your heads and close your eyes